Okay, here's the science of the actual bread making that we did. So, what I did in this little demo, I took a bit of yeast. Yeast is just a single-celled fungus. You're actually eating fungus when you eat bread. And what I did is I combined it with just regular table sugar. These are actual sugar cubes, okay? So I can measure it out very equally. All I did is I put sugar, water, and yeast in this flask. I put it under a hot plate so there's actual heat going, very similar to how when you made the bread you had to heat it up. And then I just put a balloon under it. So if you look at the actual flask here, you see the balloon is starting to inflate. Now why is that actually happening? Stir it up to help it out a little bit more. Should get a little bit more. Okay, good. This is actually carbon dioxide gas, CO2 gas. So when you're looking at the yeast growing with the sugar, this is actually called fermentation. Fermentation is when any type of organism, in this case the yeast and your fungus, is breaking down the sugars, and it's doing it without oxygen. There's no more extra oxygen in its beaker, right? But how's it actually growing? It's using a secondary process called fermentation, and that's what's making the carbon dioxide bubbles form. When you look at the bread, you can see the little holes in the bread, right? Those holes are actually carbon dioxide bubbles that are just little pockets that are actually stored in your bread. So this is actually a really useful demonstration. It also shows how food gets cooked, like in pizza dough, breads, even alcoholic beverages like wine, beer. For wine, for instance, they use the grapes that has the sugars in it, and then the microorganisms help break it down. Now, if I left this in here and added flour to it, remember flour is more of a complex carbohydrate. That's where you have the sugars take longer to break down. That's where you could have other species like bacteria come in, and that's how you get your sourdough and your sourdough bread. So if there's any questions you have about this video or any others, feel free to leave a comment down below this video, and have a good one.